evening, my lords and ladies. For your pleasure, I will introduce myself. I am Charles Dickens. The tale which I'm inclined to share with you this night is the sad and glorious truth of one Ebenezer Scrooge. Think not that I can tell this tale? Fear not, for I knew the man well. Let me begin. It was the year of our Lord, 1843. Not that the subject of our discussion, Ebenezer Scrooge, ever gave much thought to our Lord, not even on the yearly celebration of his birth. With that I have said enough, and proceed to tell the tale of what happened that Christmas Eve. Marley was dead, to begin with. There is no doubt about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner, who was Scrooge himself. Yes, old Marley was as dead as a doornail. Not that there's anything particularly more dead about a doornail. I've often thought that a coffin nail was the deadest piece of ironmongery in the trade. Nevertheless, you will permit me to repeat emphatically that Marley was as dead as a doornail. Scrooge knew he was dead? Of course he did. How could it be otherwise? Scrooge and he were partners for I don't know how many years. Scrooge was his sole executor, his sole assigned, his sole friend, and his sole mourner. Yet even Scrooge was not so dreadfully cut up by the sad event that even on the very day of the funeral, Scrooge was an excellent man of business and solemnized an undoubted bargain. Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name. There it stood years afterwards above the warehouse door. Scrooge and Marley. For those not knowing which partner he was, he would answer to either name. It was all the same to him. Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, Scrooge. A squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner. Hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel had ever struck generous fire. Secret and self-contained. The cold within him froze his old features, nipped his nose, shriveled his cheek, and stiffened his gait. External heat and cold had little influence on Scrooge. No warmth could warm, nor wintry weather chill him. No wind that blew was bitterer than he. The connecting door of Scrooge's counting house was always left open, so he could keep a keen eye upon his clerk, Bob Cratchit, who spent his days in a dismal little cell where he copied letters. Scrooge had a small fire, but the clerk's desk was so far removed from it that its warmth never could reach him. But Cratchit couldn't replenish it, for Scrooge kept the coal box in his own room. And so, surely as the clerk would come in with the shovel, the master predicted that it would be necessary for them to part. So the clerk would return to his desk and put on his comforter and try to warm himself with a candle, in which effort, not being a strong man of imagination, he failed.
Good afternoon, Bob. Good afternoon, sir.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Humbug.
Christmas a humbug? You don't mean that, I am sure.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come then, what right have you to be dismal? What reason have you to be morose? You're rich enough.
Humbug.
I see you have no good answer for me, Uncle, because I'm happy and you are not. I dare say I am richer than you. Oh, don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas. What's Christmas to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. A time for balancing your books and having every item in them a debt against you. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. He should.
Uncle?
Nephew, you keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it in any manner.
Let me leave it alone then. Much good may it do you. Much good it has ever done you.
There are many things in this life, Uncle, by which I have derived much good, wherein I have not gained wealth, I dare say. Only known this to be a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. The only time I know of in the long calendar of the year, where men and women seem, by one consent, to open their shut-up hearts freely. People below their station as if they really were, fellow passengers to the grave. Some other race of creatures found on other journeys. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe Christmas has done me, and will do me good, and I say, God bless it.
You let to hear another song from you. And you, my friend, will keep your Christmas by losing your employment.
Sorry, sir.
You're quite a powerful speaker, sir. I wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Oh, don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
Before I would set foot in your cross abode, I would see the fires of hell itself.
But why? Why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love. That's about as silly as a Merry Christmas. Good afternoon.
I want nothing of you and ask nothing from you. Why is it we can't be friends? And for no other reason than that my sainted mother would want it so.
You keep my sister out of it. I said good afternoon.
I am sorry with all of my heart to see you so resolute. We have never had any quarrels which I have been a party, but I have made the offer in homage to Christmas, and I intend to keep my Christmas humor for last. So a Merry Christmas to you anyway, Uncle. And a Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Cratchit.
Oh, and to you the same, sir, and a Happy New Year as well.
And a Happy New Year to you.
Merry Christmas. Bah, humbug. There's another fellow might fly with 15 shillings a week and wife and family, talking about a Merry Christmas. I'll retire to bed.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Do I have the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley's been dead 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night.
We have no doubt his generosity is well represented by his surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, there is more than usually desirable that we make some slight provision for the poor and destitute who suffer greatly this time of year. Many thousands are in want of common necessities.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the Union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are indeed. I could say they were not.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor then?
Both are very busy, sir.
Oh. I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. I'm very glad to know they're still in full function.
We are of the impression that these facilities scarcely furnish Christian cheer of mind or body to the masses, considering a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and some means of want. We have chosen this time of year because it is a time when the want is felt most keenly, and a time when those with an abundance feel a generosity. How much shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
Do you wish to remain anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you asked me what I wish, that is my answer. I help to support the establishments I mentioned with my tax payments. They cost quite enough. And those who are badly off must go there.
But, Mr. Scrooge, there are many who are unable to go there, and many more who would rather die.
If they would rather die, they'd better do it quickly and decrease the surplus population. Good afternoon.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day, to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
You get away from here.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Well, that's it. Seems the hour of 7 has arrived. You may retire to your home. You'll want all day off tomorrow, I suppose?
It's quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient. And it's not fair. If I was to stop half a crown from your pay for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, I suppose. And yet you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
Christmas time comes but once a year only, Mr. Scrooge.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. You'll be here all the earlier the next morning.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge, and thank you.
Why, you'll be here every morning till you're made up the whole time. A
A Merry Christmas!
Bah! Humbug!
It was so dark that even he, who knew every stone, was fain to grope with his hand. Fog and frost so hung about the black old gateway of the house that it seemed as if the origin of the weather sat in mournful meditation on his threshold. Now it was a fact that there was nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door, except that it was very large. It is also a fact that Scrooge had seen it night and morning during his whole residence in that place. Let it also be borne in mind that Scrooge had not bestowed one thought on Marley since his last mention of his 7 years dead partner that afternoon. And then, let any man explain it to me, if he can, how it happened that Scrooge, having his key in the lock in the door, saw in the knocker, not a knocker, but Marley's face. Marley's face. It looked at Scrooge as Marley used to look, with ghostly spectacles turned up on his ghostly forehead. The hair was curiously stirred as if by breath or hot air, and though the eyes were wide open, they were perfectly motionless. That in its livid color made it a horrible aberration. But as Scrooge looked fixedly at this phenomenon, it was a knocker again.
Curious sensation. When I saw Marley's face, it seemed as if my blood had just turned cold. But it wasn't real. It was an illusion. I must have ingested something that disagreed with me. Everything as it should be. Humbug, I won't believe it. It's humbug still, I won't believe it.
Ebenezer Scrooge!
Oh, now. What do you want of me?
Much.
Well, who are you?
Asked me who I was.
Well, who are you then? You're very particular for a ghost.
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Oh.
You do not believe it.
I don't.
What evidence would you have of my existence beyond your own senses?
Oh, I don't know.
When you doubt your senses.
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheat. You may be an undigested bit of beef. A plot of mustard. A crumb of cheese. A fragment of an underdone potato. And more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are. You see this toothpick?
I do.
You're not looking at it.
But I see it notwithstanding.
Well, I have but to swallow this toothpick and be for the rest of my days persecuted by a legion of goblins, all of my own creation. Humbug, I tell ya, humbug.
Oh, man of worldly mind! Do you believe in me or not?
Oh, I do, I must. But why? Who stirs walks the earth? Why do they come to me?
It is the responsibility of every man that his spirit walk forth among his fellow men far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. is doomed to wander through the world and witness what it cannot share, but might have shared and turned to happiness.
You are fettered. Tell me, why you wear those chains?
I wear the chains I forged in life. I made them link by link and yard by yard. Its pattern strange to you, or would you know the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was as long and full and heavy as this 7 Christmas Eves ago, and you have labored on it since, Ebenezer Scrooge. It is a ponderous chain!
Jacob, oh Jacob Marley, tell me more. Speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. It comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge. It is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men. I must leave soon. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. My spirit never wandered beyond the narrow confines of our money-changing hole. And so now, weary journeys lie before me.
You must have been very slow about it, Jacob.
Slow?
7 years dead and traveling all the time.
The whole time. No rest. No peace. Only the incessant torture of remorse.
You travel fast.
On the wings of the wind.
Well, it seems to me you could have covered a great quantity of ground in 7 years.
Oh, captive! Bound in double irons. Not to know that immortal life's purpose is to render good among our fellow men while still allowed time on this small sphere called Earth. In the time that follows death, the only desire that spirits have is to help earthly beings, to bring happiness where possible. But because of my chains, I cannot. I try, but I cannot. Oh, life's opportunity misused! Yet, such was I, miserable wretch that I am now.
But
Such was
Jacob, you were always a good man of business.
Business? Mankind was my business. Charity, mercy, benevolence, forbearance were my business. Our Savior, born 1,843 years ago this very night, spent his entire life tending the poor, the sick, the lonely. My business was to be about his business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop in the comprehensive ocean of my business. Oh, why did I walk through crowds of my fellow beings with my eyes cast down, and never raised them to that blessed star whose light shone down and led the wise men to a poor abode, and there found that sweet babe, the Savior of us all. Were there no poor homes to which its light could have conducted me? None of great pain and suffering with which I might have offered comfort and a warm meal?
But Jacob, of what benefit to you would all those activities have been? There's no profit among the poor and lonely.
Profit? Profit? In life it can be said that I gained much profit. But look upon me, Ebenezer! I have lost my soul in the payment of profit! Look there at those who, like ourselves, have forged chains in life. Observe their misery.
Why, there are dozens of them up there on the street. Dozens of them all wearing chains. And there's old Hebron trying to help a mother with a crying baby.
What is his purpose in this, Ebenezer? The only possible reward for such an endeavor is happiness. Such happiness as is denied unto us. As you can see, he cannot help, for he is fettered like unto me. Hear me, my time is nearly gone.
I will hear you, Jacob, I will hear you, but don't be hard upon me. Don't be flowery, Jacob. Help me, I pray.
How is it you can see me now, I wonder? I have sat invisible by you day after day, but that is the least of my penance. I am here tonight to warn you that you yet have a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and a hope of my procuring, Ebenezer.
Oh, you were always a good friend to me, Jacob. Thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Oh, no. Is that the time chance and hope you mentioned?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread.
Oh.
Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls one.
Jacob, couldn't I take them all at once and have it over with?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. Expect the third on the following night when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no longer, Ebenezer Scrooge, and look that, for your own sake, you remember what has passed between us.
I'll forget so just as I left it.
Remember!
Maybe I'd better not say now. 2:15. Oh, I'm very tired. The conversation with that ghost. Made me very tired. It's been a long day. How is that possible? It's after 2 when I retire. It's not likely that I slept through a whole day and far into another night. It's not possible that something has happened to the sun and it's 12 at noon. There's no noise of people out there on the street. No people going to and fro. Was it a dream or not? Quarter past? Half past? Oh, it couldn't be half an hour already. Oh, that clock is wrong. An icicle must have got into the works.
No, your past.
Well, what business do you have with me?
Your welfare.
My welfare? Well, don't you think an unbroken night of rest would be of more benefit toward that end?
This is your chance for reclamation. Take heed. Rise. What will be?
But I am a mortal, and liable to fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand there, and you shall be held up with no need to fear.
The ghost of Christmas past, in scarcely the blink of an eye, transported Scrooge to a beautiful meadow, covered with a fresh blanket of snow just outside his old schoolhouse.
Wait. I know this place. I grew up here. I was a boy here.
Your live is traveling. And what
conduct me where you will.
You remember the way?
Remember? Oh, I could walk it blindfolded.
Strange that you have forgotten it for so many years. Let us go on. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Oh, that was one of my friends at school, William. Oh, it's so good to see him again. Why is it that he looked at me as though I was not even here?
These are but the shadows of things that have been. They have no consciousness of us.
And there's my old school, deserted.
It's not quite deserted.
Oh.
A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is there still.
I know that boy. The only friends left in that poor boy were those that came from the pages of a book.
What is the matter?
Oh, no. Well, there was a boy singing a Christmas carol at my door last night. I should like to have given him something, that's all.
Come, let's see another Christmas.
As Scrooge watched, his former self grew larger, and the room became a little darker and more dirty. And there he was, older, but alone again when all the other boys had gone home for the jolly holidays.
Dear brother, I've come to bring you home, dear brother. I've come to bring you home. Yes, home for good and home for ever and ever. Well, there's someone kinder than you, feet. That home's like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one dear night when I was going to bed that I was not afraid to ask him once more if he might come. And he said yes, and sent me in the coach to bring you. And you're to be mad, and to never return to this place. But first, we're to be together all the Christmas holidays and there's time in all the world. You're quite a woman, little fun. She always was a delicate creature, but she had a large heart.
Yes, indeed, she had a large heart. God forbid I should deny that she had a large heart.
She died a woman, and had, as I remember, children.
One child.
True, your nephew.
Yes, Fred.
The ghost of Christmas past conducted Scrooge once again through time to another place. To an old warehouse where he had sojourned to learn a trade. It was a place where he had been happy and secure. The business was owned by a Richard Fezziwig, a man who Ebenezer greatly loved and admired. Old Fezziwig, as the boys used to call him, was a wonderful man to work for. Old Fezziwig had a knack of making the hearts of those around him light, for he truly cared for them, and they well knew it.
Do you remember this place?
Oh, I was apprentice here. There's old Fezziwig, dear old Fezziwig alive again after all these years. Dear old Fezziwig.
Richard, it's time. Our guests will be arriving any moment now.
So it is, my dear. I'll see to clearing right. Now, we have enough food. We don't want to run out, not tonight.
You are such a tease. You know that we do. I have yet to let you down. Is that not so?
I declare it is so, my love. It will be a grand party. Yo ho, my boys. Ebenezer, Dick.
We need more light. I'll light more lanterns.
Why, there's Dick Wilkins, to be sure. Oh, he was very much attached to me, was Dick. Poor Dick.
No more work tonight, lads. It's Christmas Eve. Dick, Christmas, Ebenezer. Clear away. We'll need lots of room.
I'd wager half a crown that I can clear away those two small barrels there in this crate. Or even clear this large barrel away.
Why, there's not one chance in the whole of the kingdom of that happening. Why, Dick, I'd wager you that same half of a crown that you're as slow as molasses instead.
Richard, it's time. I can hear this approaching now. Come and help me greet them.
Certainly, my dear. Going to miss it for all the gold in the kingdom. It's entirely more fun.
Merry
Greetings.
Christmas. Merry Christmas. Thank you for coming. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for coming. Merry Christmas. Oh, my dear, you look just beautiful this evening. You'll have every young man in the place wanting to court you.
Look, there's Belle. She looks beautiful. You should court her, as he would start her. Nay, I should say not.
Why not? Bessie was told you in high regard.
She's only 17.
Oh, and you were such an old man at 21. Well, stop being sarcastic and then dance with the girl.
What do you say, my fine guests? Shall we start the evening with a lively dance?
Oh, yeah!
Musicians, music if you please.
Splendidly, and all guests were joyously sent on their way with praises on their lips for the wonderful time spent in the company of the Fezziwigs.
A small matter to make these silly folks so full of gratitude.
Mom! Oh! What a wonderful party, Mr. Fezziwig. It was so much better than last year, and I didn't think it possible. Mrs. Fezziwig, thank you so much for a superb repast, and Merry Christmas to you both.
It was truly beyond compare. You have both made our hearts light and given us more than we deserve. My heartfelt thanks to each of you.
Is it not small? He has spent but a few pounds of your mortal money, 3 or 4 perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
Oh, it isn't that, Church. It isn't that. He has the power to make us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, a pleasure or a toil. The happiness he gives is quite as great as if it had cost a fortune.
What is the matter?
Nothing.
Something, I think.
Well, I should like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk just now. That's all.
Come, my time grows short.
It was 2 years before Ebenezer got up the courage to court Belle and ask for Bill's hand. Fezziwig was delighted, and Belle was happier than she had ever been in her life. Ebenezer realized that he needed a better situation in order to provide for a family, and obtained one in a bank. He became fascinated with the workings of money and interest. The more he learned, the more he realized that there was much more profit to be made if he owned his own counting house. He became so engrossed in making his own establishment profitable that he little realized that another 2 years had passed.
It matters little to you, very little. Another idol has displaced me, and if it can cheer and comfort you in time to come, as I would have tried to do, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you? You must understand. It is the unintended demon of the world. There's nothing upon which it is so hard as poverty. The world tends to stop being discussed upon it. Yet the pursuit of wealth is condemned with total severity.
You fear the world too much. All your other hopes are merged into the hope of being beyond the chance of poverty's sordid reproach. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one, until the master passion gain and engrosses you. Have I not?
What then? Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I'm not changed for you, am I?
Our association is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so, until we could see that we could improve our worldly fortune by our patient ministry. You are changed. When we decided to marry, you were another man.
I was a boy.
Your own words tell me you're not the man you were, but I am still the same. The happiness we look forward to when we are of one heart is fraught with misery now that we are two. I've thought of this circumstance often. How often I cannot say. But it is enough that I've thought of it, and now I can release you.
Release? Have I ever sought a release?
In words, no, never.
In what?
In change of nature, in an altered spirit. The characteristics you so love about me have no value to me. Tell me, if I were to meet for the first time now, would you seek me out and try to win my love?
You think not?
I would gladly think otherwise if I could. Heaven knows I want to. But when I've learned a truth like this, I know I cannot deny it. If you were free today or tomorrow, can I believe you would choose a dowerless girl? You who measures everything by gain? Or after choosing her, you would forget your one guiding principle long enough to do so? Don't I know you would afterward regret your choice and reverse it? I do know this. And I release you with a full heart to love the man we once were. You may. The memory of what has passed between us makes me hope you will help claiming this. In a very brief time, I dismiss the recollection of our relationship as an unprofitable dream from which you gladly awoke. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Curtis, conduct me from this place. Why do you delight to torture me?
One shadow more.
No more. I do not wish to see it. No more.
In time, Belle found herself in love again, and married a man who gave her not money, but the greatest of all gifts, his love. Shared joy and laughter attended their small home, as together they turned each day into one that was well cherished.
Dearest, it's so good to have you home.
that beautiful child might have been mine.
Belle, I saw a little friend of ours this afternoon.
Who was it?
Yes,
How can I? Wait, I know. Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge it was. I passed his office window, and as he was not shut up, and he had a candle inside, I could scarcely remember seeing him, but then he sat alone. He seemed quite alone in the world, I believe.
Well, I've heard he's built himself quite a successful business. When he parted, it seemed his desire for worldly goods had replaced his need for human compassion.
That may be true, dear. However, it didn't seem so from what I witnessed. Although I've heard some of these quick speaking days all happening, that he was quite well compensated for the loss.
I've heard his... Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Such a sad, lonely man, withering and dying inside. No while blustering about how much better off he is than others. He was at one time a wonderful man, but replaced everything I held dear with his need for love.
Couldn't think no one was love, rather. She was mistaken.
Yes, that is true. A life of ease and leisure that holds no warmth has no appeal to me. I am so happy that I'm with you. Your love is all that I desire in the whole world.
Good. Conduct me from this place. Leave me.
These are but the shadows of things that happen. That they are what they are, do not blame me.
Show me no more. Leave me. Hunt me no longer.
Ebenezer Scrooge. Come with me! Come with me and know me better, man!
I dare not.
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You have never seen the likes of me before.
No, never.
Never walked forth with my older brothers.
No, I don't believe I have. Have you had many brothers?
Aye, over 1,800.
Oh, what a tremendous family to provide for. Conduct me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion, and I learned a lesson that is working now. Tonight, if you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
Scrooge did as he was told and held it fast. Suddenly they were in the streets on Christmas morn. Such a wonderful sight to behold.
I do hope so. For if it is not as good as last year's, that's the issue.
Sorry. Merry Christmas.
There's no time. We're late already. All right, it is Christmas after all.
Such a cold day, isn't it?
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry
Is there a peculiar flavor in what you sprinkle from your torch?
There is. My own.
Would it apply to any kind of dinner on this day?
To any kindly given. To a poor one most of all.
Why? To a poor one most of all.
Because it is needed most.
First, I wonder why you of all the beings in the world about us would desire to take away these people's opportunity of innocent enjoyment.
I?
You would deny them the innocent pleasure of dining out every seventh day, often the only time at which they may be said to dine at all. Would you deny them that?
I?
Well, you seek to close these places every Sunday. It comes to the same thing, does it not?
I seek?
Well, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that it is being done in your name, or in the name of your family.
Has been done in the name of Christ, the name upon which all of my family is known. Aye, there are those in this world that do lay claim to know us, and they do their deeds of pride, bigotry, ill will, hatred, and greed in our name, but they are strange to us, and all of our kith and kin as if they had never lived. Remember that. And charge their doings upon themselves, not on us. Come.
Perhaps it was the pleasure and goodwill the Spirit had, and his sympathy with all poor men, that led him straight to Scrooge's clerks, for there he went, and took Scrooge with him, holding to his robe. And on the threshold of the door, the Spirit smiled and stopped to bless Bob Cratchit's dwelling with the sprinklings of his torch. Imagine that. The poor, unworthy soul of Bob Cratchit, who earned but 15 bob a week, and yet the ghost of Christmas present blessed his 4-room house.
left a goose in the oven without me knowing about it. And what has ever gotten into your precious father and your brother, Tiny Tim, and Martha weren't as late last Christmas Day by half an hour?
Here I am, Mother. Martha's home, Mother. Hello. Hooray, Martha's home. You're such a goose, Martha.
Bless your heart alive, my child. How late you are.
We had a great deal of work to finish up last night and had to clear away this morning, Mother. Well, never mind that. So long as you're here. Take a seat by the fire and have a
Goodbye.
Hi, Martha. Hi. Hi.
To you and your Hello, love. You take your things, Tim. There, your mother will help you finish this time. Careful now. Oh, it's a cold night out there.
Yes, it is cold.
Where's our Martha?
Not coming.
Not coming on Christmas Day.
Oh, here I am,
Oh.
Father.
Such a tease. Oh, it's so good to see you.
Thank
Well,
you. We should have looking to you in the copper.
Well, how did Tiny Tim behave?
oh, as good as gold,
Like it.
better. He has so much time to sit and think by himself. And sometimes he thinks the strangest thoughts. Why, today on our way home, he said that he hoped that people in the church saw him because he was a cripple, and that it might be pleasant for them to be reminded on Christmas Day to make the blind to see and the lame beggars walk. Come, son.
Right, Mother. I'll help. And I too.
There you are.
Let's look down on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even.
Dear Lord, please bless the bounty of our table and make us to be truly thankful. Amen.
Amen.
My dear, I do believe I have never seen such a wonderful goose in all the world.
From the first cut into the bird, there was a gush of stuffing that would melt in anyone's mouth. The rest of the family joined their father in the general praise of the goose. Its tenderness and flavor, its size and cheapness were themes of universal admiration. After that delicious meal, the plates were changed by Miss Belinda, while Mrs. Cratchit left the room alone, she being too nervous about the pudding to want company. Suppose it should not be done enough. Suppose it should break, turning it out. However, Mrs. Cratchit rejoined her family, smiling proudly, with the pudding like a speckled cannonball, hard and firm, and trimmed with Christmas holly on the top.
My dear, that was a wonderful pudding. I do believe it is the greatest success you've yet achieved in our marriage.
Well, that is a weight off my mind. I suppose I can tell you now I was a bit worried there wasn't quite enough flour left to make it.
Oh, it was wonderful, Mother. Have no doubts about that. Yes, Mother, it was ever so delicious.
They would all like to have had more. They would never think of hurting their mother by suggesting there was not enough.
A toast. A Merry Christmas to us all, and God bless us.
God bless us. God bless us, everyone.
That's right, dear Tim.
Tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner. And I see a crutch without an owner carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
No, no, kind sir. Say he will be spared.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, then none other of my kind will find him here. And what then? If he be like to die, he should do it quickly and decrease the surplus population. Oh man, if man you be in your heart and not enamored, bear what you say until you know where the surplus is, what it is. Will you decide what men shall live and what men shall die? It could could be that in the eyes of heaven, you are less fit and worthy to live than millions like this poor man's child.
A toast. I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of our feast.
Founder of our feast, indeed. I wish you were here. I'd like to give him a piece of my mind to feast upon. I hope he'd have a good appetite for
My
it.
dear children, Christmas Day.
Oh, it should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, hard, stingy, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do, poor fellow.
Oh, but my dear, Christmas Day.
I'll drink to his health for your sake and the day, but not for his. Long life to him. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
Oh dear.
Do you see how the very mention of your name casts a shadow upon the party?
Spirit, I have given a much desired living to Bob for many years. And for this, they hate me?
Yes. Could you not have paid him a great deal more for his hours of work? Do you have any idea what it's like to have to write sums legibly in a book when your hands are so cold that it hurts to breathe on them? I think you're a great ogre indeed. Can you really hold them to blame?
My own dear family, I have special information for Master Peter.
What is it, Father?
I have found a situation which, should you obtain it, would allow you to bring in a full 5 and 6 pence weekly.
You would overlook this family as having no value because they have no wealth. But I'm here to help you see they are much wealthier than you.
Is that because they are so happy with each other?
Yes. Yes! Yes! You're beginning to understand! Oh, but then there's much more I must show you. Come, come!
The spirit of Christmas present escorted Ebenezer Scrooge to many places considered lowly in situation. They first went to a miner's camp, where, within a home made of mud and stone, they found a cheerful company assembled round a glowing fire. They all raised their voices in songs of the season. The spirit did not tarry here, but sped whither? Not to see. Yes, it was to see. To Scrooge's horror, looking back, he saw the last of the land, a frightful range of rocks behind them. And then he saw, about a league or so from shore, a solitary lighthouse. But even here, 2 men who watched the light had made a fire. They wished each other Merry Christmas, and one of them, the elder, struck up a sturdy song in the season's honor. Again the ghost sped on above the black and heaving sea, on, until they lighted upon a ship. They stood beside the helmsman at the wheel, the lookout in the bow, the officers who had the watch. Dark, ghostly figures in their several situations, but every man among them hummed a Christmas tune, or had a Christmas thought, or spoke below his breath to his companion of some bygone Christmas day.
He said Christmas is a humbug, as I live, and he believed it too.
More shame for him, Fred.
He's a comical old fellow, that's the truth. Not so pleasant as he might be. However, his offences carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him.
I'm sure he's very rich, Fred. At least you always tell me so.
What of that, my dear? His wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't do any good with it. He doesn't make himself comfortable with it. He hasn't the satisfaction of thinking that he's ever going to benefit us with it.
Well, I have no patience with him.
Oh, I have. I'm sorry for him.
How is that? Sorry for me?
I couldn't be angry with him if I tried. Who suffers by his illness? Himself, always. Here he takes it into his head to dislike us, and he won't come and dine with us. What's the consequence? He doesn't lose much of a dinner.
Indeed! I think it is a very good dinner.
Well, I'm very glad to hear it, for I have a very great favour with young housekeeper. What do you say, Topper?
If you're interested in my opinion, then that will have to wait. A bachelor is nothing but a wretched outcast who has the right to express an opinion on such a subject.
Do go on, Fred. He never finishes what he begins to say. He's such a ridiculous fellow.
I was only going to say that the consequence of his taking a dislike to us and not making merry with us is, as I think, he loses some pleasant moments, which could do him no harm. I am sure he loses pleasanter companions than he can find in his own life, either in his moldy old office or in his dusty chambers. I need to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not. For I pity him. He may rail at Christmas till he dies, but he can't help thinking the better of it. I defy him. If he finds me going there in good temper, year after year, and saying, "Merry Christmas, Uncle Scrooge, how are you?" If only it puts him in the vein to leave his poor clerk £50. That's something. And I think I shook him yesterday.
Now there's something I would have to witness in order to believe it. Uncle Scrooge shook up. Indeed.
I have a smashing idea. Let's play a game of yes and no.
Marvelous.
What's a fine game? You start, Fred.
All right? I have it. You may ask your questions.
Is it a plant?
No.
Is it an animal?
Yes.
What kind of animal is it?
That's not the proper question, Topper. You know better than to try to trick me.
Does the animal live in the desert?
No.
Is the animal tame?
No.
Is the animal vicious?
Yes.
Is it a savage animal?
Yes.
Is it a tiger?
No.
Is it a bull?
No.
Is it a horse?
No.
Is it a dog?
No.
Is it a cat?
No.
I've got it. Is it a bear?
No.
Does the animal live in a menagerie?
No. It's too wonderful. You'll never guess.
Does the animal growl?
Yes.
Does it walk about on 4 feet?
No.
Does it live in the city?
Yes.
Does it walk about the city on its own?
Yes.
And it's a savage animal?
Yes.
I should hope I've never run into it.
That's not a question.
That's not a question.
Then, does it walk about on 2 feet?
Yes.
I know what it is, then I know what it is!
What is it?
You're Uncle Scrooge!
You are quite right. He has given us plenty of merriment indeed, and it would be ungrateful not to drink to his health. Here's a glass of mulled wine ready at our hand at the moment, and I say, Uncle Scrooge! Hooray for Uncle Scrooge! A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, whatever he is. He wouldn't take it from me, but may he have it nevertheless. Uncle Scrooge.
What a wonderful game. It was such fun.
Much they saw that night, and far they went, and many homes they visited, but always with a happy end. The spirits stood beside sick beds, and they were cheerful. By struggling men, and they were patient because of their greater hope. By poverty, it was rich. In hospitals and in jail, in misery's every refuge, everywhere that vain men had not made fast the door and barred the spirit out, he left his blessing and taught Scrooge his precepts.
Our spirits' lives so short.
My time on this earth is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight,
Aye, tonight at midnight. Time is growing near.
Spirit, forgive me if I'm not justified in what I ask, but I see something protruding from your robe, as though not belonging to yourself. Is it a foot or a claw?
It may be a claw for all the flesh that is upon it. Look here.
Are they yours?
They are man's, and they cling to me, appealing from their fathers. The boy is ignorance, and the girl is want. Beware them both in all their degrees, but most of all, beware this boy. For I see that which is written upon his head is doomed, unless it be erased.
But have they no refuge? No resource?
Are there no prisons? No workhouses?
My lords and ladies, 'tis intermission, when everything is simply strange. Yet everything for you, the audience, has been properly prearranged. The restrooms are on yon veranda, and to some of you they beckon. The ladies' powder place is the first door, and the lord's room is the second. For those who desire fine refreshment, you'll find that they are quite nice. Please file through this curtain and form a line. They are at a reasonable price. 10 minutes you have, so you must make haste. I pray thee to others be kind. When finished purchasing your great bounty, your soft seats I pray you will find.
Show me shadows of things that have not yet happened, that will happen in the time before it. Is that so, Spirit? Ghosts of the future, I fear you more than any spectre I have seen. But as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be a better man than what I was, I prepare to bear your company and do it with a thankful heart. Will you speak to me? Speak on, Spirit, speak on. The night is waning fast. This precious time to me, I know. Speak on, Spirit.
Well, I don't know much about it either. I only know he died.
When did he die? Oh, what was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
Heaven only knows.
What has he done with his money?
I haven't heard. Left it to his company, perhaps. Bloody well didn't leave it to me. That's all I know.
It's like they've been very cheap, you know. For all my life, I don't know of anybody to go to. Perhaps we should make up a posse and volunteer.
Well, I don't mind going if lunch is provided, but I must be fed if I'm to attend.
Well, I'm the most disinterested among you after all. For I never wear black gloves and I never eat lunch. But I'll offer to go if anyone else will. When I come to think of it, I'm not at all sure I was not his best friend before that. For we used to speak every time we met.
I know those men. They're very prominent in the community, and I told them in Harry God. Tell me, who is it they're speaking of?
Scrooge tried to reason out in his mind to whom it was they could have been referring, but could think of none within his realm of acquaintances to whom the conversations could apply. So he began to apply himself toward finding his future self among the people he saw, but could find his future self not among the people he saw. Quiet and dark beside him stood the phantom with his outstretched hand. They left the scene and went to an obscure part of the town where Scrooge had never penetrated before, although he recognized its situation and its bad repute. The ways were foul and narrow, the shops and houses wretched, the people half-naked, drunken, slipshod, ugly. Far in this den of infamous resort was a low-browed pawn shop, where iron, old rags, bottles, pots and pans, and pipes were exchanged for what little money could be exacted for them. Thank you. Far in this den of infamous resort was a low-browed pawn shop, where iron, old rags, bottles, pots, and pans were brought to exchange for what little money could be exacted for them.
judgment, and it should have anyway depend on it. I could lay my hands on anything else. Open up me bundle, Joe. Tell me the value of it. I ain't afraid for her to see it. We move yourself and I'll sell it for you. Hey!
All right, don't fight over it. Get your turn. What have we got here then? Some odd piece of ironmongery. A bell without a... Who would keep a bell without a clapper?
Some matching set.
Yeah, well, I might be able to get something like that. It's a little dented, but they don't match. Well, maybe I can nail them down or something. Throwing that in too. Always give too much to the ladies. It's weakness of mine. It's the way I'll ruin myself. Here's your account then, and if you ask for a penny more, I'll repent of me liberal ways and knock off that prayer.
Now open my bundle, Joe.
All right, what have you got here then? What's this then? Bed curtains.
Oh, bed curtains.
You don't mean to say you took them down rings and all with him lying there?
I do. Why not?
You were born to make your fortune, and you'll do it too.
Well, I certainly shan't stay my hand if I can get something, just by reaching it out. And I certainly won't stay my hand for a man as such a nice as he was. Don't go on his blankets now.
His blankets?
Well, it's just bows, ain't likely to take cold without it.
Hope you didn't die of anything catching.
Don't you worry about that. He's so fond of his company as loiter about waiting for him to die. You may listen to that trick to Isaac, but you won't find it all, and it all stay their place. It's the best he had. If I want him, they'd waste it if it weren't for me.
What do you call a wasting of it?
Putting it on him to be buried in. Somebody was fool enough to do it, but I took it up again. Calico ain't good enough for such purpose. It ain't good enough for anything. You can't make any uglier in it than he did in this one. Come on, Joe.
No. Right.
This is the end of him, you see. He frightened everyone away from him when he was alive, just to profit after he was dead.
Good, I see. I see. The case of that unhappy man might be my own. My life ends that way now. But, Spirit, please show me some tenderness connected with the death, or this horrible place will haunt me forever.
In the blink of an eye, Scrooge and the Spirit were in the bedchamber of the dead man, where they could quite clearly see the form of a body, carelessly covered by a sheet. The motion of a finger on Scrooge's part would have disclosed the face. He thought of it, felt how easy it would be to do, and longed to do it, but he had no more power to withdraw the veil than to dismiss the spectre at his side. The body lay in the dark, empty house with not a man, a woman, or a child to say that he was kind to me in this or that. Scrooge was extremely disturbed by the image, and said to the Spirit, "This is a fearful place. In leaving it, I shall not leave its lesson, Spirit." The ghost conducted Scrooge through many streets familiar to his feet, and as they went along, Scrooge looked here and there to find himself, but nowhere was he to be seen.
And he took her child and took them in the midst of them. Oh, color hurts my eyes. There, better now. It's good meat to live by candlelight. And I wouldn't dream of showing you guys to your father for the world when he gets home. It must be near this time. Father, rather than I have known him to walk with tiny tools on his shoulders, very fast indeed. So have I.
So have I.
Oh, but your father loved him so, and he was light to carry, and it was no trouble at all. And there's your father. Don't mind your father, don't be grieved.
Thank you.
my, look at how quickly the girls accomplish their stitching. Why, at this rate, they'll be done long before Sunday. Yes, I have, my dear. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that we'd go here walking on Sunday. My little child. My little child. But we must remember, despite our grief, we are truly blessed. We still have each other. And we are still a family.
That's true, Mama. You're very blessed indeed.
I saw Mr. Scrooge's nephew on the street today. He could tell that I wasn't feeling well, and he inquired as to why. He was such a kind gentleman. When I told him about our Tiny Tim, upon which he said, "I'm heartily sorry to hear about it, Mr. Cratchit, and heartily sorry for your good wife." Why, however did he know that, I wonder?
You know what, my dear?
Why, that you're a good wife.
Everybody knows that.
Well put, my boy, well put. Heartily sorry for your good wife, says he. If I can ever be of any assistance in any way, here's my card. Pray, come see me. Now, it wasn't for anything that he might be able to do for us, mind you, but for his kind way. That was quite delightful. It seemed as though he had really known our Tiny Tim and shared our grief with us.
I'm sure you will console.
Oh, you'd be the surer of it if you had seen and heard him. I have no doubt, mark my word, that he'll be able to find a better situation for Master Peter.
That Peter.
Then Peter will be keeping company with somebody else and setting up by himself.
He's along with you.
It's as likely as not, though there's plenty of time for that. But however, and whenever we part, we shall not forget our Tiny Tim and the first parting that there was among us.
Never, Father, never.
Oh, precious son. We'll never forget our Tiny Tim.
Oh, I am very happy indeed. Sweet spirit of our Tiny Tim, thy childish essence was from God, and to God it has returned.
Good. Indeed, I have seen compassion. But now, something tells me that our time of parting is near at hand. I know not how, but something assures me of that. Tell me, who was that man we saw lying dead?
The ghost of Christmas yet to come conveyed Scrooge as before. They went into the places of businessmen, but showed him not himself. Indeed, the spirit did not stay for anything, but went straight on until besought by Scrooge to tarry for a moment. And Scrooge said, "This court through which we hurry now is where my place of occupation is, and has been for a length of time. I see the house. Let me behold what I shall be in days to come." The spirit stopped, but his hand pointed elsewhere. "The house is yonder," said Scrooge. "Why do you point away?" The inexorable finger underwent no change. Scrooge hastened to the window of his office and looked in. It was an office still, but not his. The furniture was not the same, and the figure in the chair was not himself. The phantom pointed as before. Scrooge accompanied the spirit until they reached an iron gate. Scrooge paused to look around before entering. He realized that it was a churchyard. Now maybe he would learn the identity of the dead man. It was a worthy place for such a man, Scrooge thought. It was dark and dreary, overrun by grass and weeds. A worthy place indeed.
Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are the things you show me shadows of things that will be, or are they shadows of things that may be only? Men's courses, will foreshadow certain ends, to which if persevered in they must lead. But if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. Say it is thus with what you show me. Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh, am I that man who lay upon the bed? The one those people robbed so heartlessly? Oh, no, spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been before this experience. Why, show me this if I am past all hope. Good Spirit, your nature intercedes for me and pities me. Tell me I yet may change the shattered you've shown me by an altered life. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut off the lessons that they teach. Tell me I've been sponged away the writing on the stone. The present and the future, the spirits of all trees will strive within me. Oh, Jacob Marley, heaven and Christmas time be praised for this. I say it on my knees, oh Jacob, on my knees. My blankets are here. They've not been carried away and sold at the pawn shop. They're here. I'm here. The shadows of things that would have been, they be dispelled. They will be. I know they will. I'll change them, I will. I don't know what to do first. Oh, so much change. I guess I better get dressed. I'm light as a feather. I'm happy as an angel. I'm merry as a schoolboy. I'm giddy as a drunken man. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year to all the world. I better get dressed. Find my shoes. Come here, you. One more. Jacob Marley came. There's a window where I saw the wandering spirits. Poor souls all wearing chains. Oh. And that jolly old ghost of Christmas present. Wasn't he a character? That's where he came in. That's right. It's all right. It's all true. It all happened. I don't know what day of the month it is. I don't know how long I've been among the spirits. I don't know anything. I'm quite a baby. Never mind. I don't care. I'd rather be a baby. Now if I can get this coat on. Come on, get in, please. Oh, a clear, bright, glorious day. Hey there, young man, what's today?
Yeah?
What's today, my fine fellow?
To die? Why, it's Christmas Day.
Oh, it's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do anything they like, of course they can. Hey there, young man. You know the postman's in the next street at the corner?
I suppose I do.
Oh, you told me, boy, remarkable boy. You know whether they sold the prize turkey that was hanging there? Not the little prize turkey, the big one.
You mean the one as big as mine?
Oh, Michael, boy, it's a pleasure to talk to him. Yes, my boy.
It's in there now.
Yes. Go and try it.
What? Oh, get on it.
Oh, indeed, I am in earnest. You go buy it. Tell him to bring it here so I can give him directions where to take it. Come back with the man and I'll give you a shilling. Come back within less than 5 minutes to give you half a crown. There you go. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit. He shall know who sent it. Now let me see. Find my money box. Oh, yes. Now let's see. I better write on this envelope so I can find a pencil. Bob Cratchit. Camden Town. Now, better find some money. Put into that envelope. Oh, yes, here's the money. I think I remember how much the turkey was listed. Yes. That much. And a little bit extra for the poultry. Now, my money bag. Ah, yes. Ah, now I'm ready for that turkey. Oh, bring it right over here. Ah, that is a turkey.
I think so. Present, you know.
Here's an envelope with money for the turkey. And here's the address. See, Bob Cratchit, Camden Town. You know the way to Camden Town.
Yes, I do.
Oh, sure you do. But, you can't carry that big turkey all the way to Camden Town. You must have a cab. Well, let me see. Here's money for a cab.
Thank you, Mr. Scrooge.
And, hey, that's your half a crown.
Merry Christmas.
Who wants those Cratchit kids to be surprised? No goose. Turkey. Now, see if anybody's up around on the streets on Christmas morning. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe.
A Merry Christmas. I hope you succeeded yesterday. It was very kind of you to come and see me.
Mr. Scrooge.
Yes, that is my name. I fear it may not be very pleasant to you. Allow me to ask you pardon for not treating you better yesterday. I wasn't all over the world. but I will come again to my office for a donation of...
Lord bless me, my dear Mr. Scrooge. Are you quite serious?
Oh, indeed I am. And not a farthing less, I assure you. A great many back payments are included in it. Will you do me that favor?
My dear sir, I don't know what to say to such munificence.
Don't say anything. Come and see me. Will you come and see me?
I will, sir. I will.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I've been a time thanking. And a Merry Christmas to you. God bless you.
Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Scrooge.
Why, look at this. That's the life for young people. May I join you, young people? Good, my boy. My dear. Merry Christmas.
Dear Uncle, we are just on our way to ask you again if you would join us for Christmas dinner. But we hope you've changed your mind.
Yes, do please say you've changed your mind. We will have such a wonderful time if you do come.
Come to dinner. What did I tell you about coming to your house? Of course I'll come if you let me in first.
Let you in. You just tried to stay out. Come, help me, Papa.
Hang on, Mr. Scrooge. We'll be there in just 5 minutes.
Scrooge found his heart very light indeed as he spent the afternoon with Fred and his sweet family. He realized that he liked his Fred's wife very much, and started calling her niece that very day and claimed her as his own. That afternoon he played all the games and danced with his new niece, and for the first time in years, he actually took the time to realize that food was not just for sustenance, but something truly to be savored. Scrooge resolved in his heart that day that he would not let a week go by without spending time with Fred and his family. That afternoon, or that evening rather, Scrooge slept in the guest room of Fred's house and awoke to smells of breakfast cooking and the lilting laughter of his niece and nephew. Scrooge dressed quickly and ate with a smile on his face and laughter in his heart. Scrooge arrived early at the office. Oh, he was early there. If only he could be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming in late. That's what he had set his heart upon. And he did it. Yes, he did. The clock struck 9. No Bob. 1:15. No Bob. He was a full 18 minutes behind his time. Scrooge sat with his door wide open that he might see him come into the tank.
Hello. What do you mean coming here at this time of day, sir?
I'm sorry, Mr. Scrooge, I'm behind my time.
Behind your time. Yes, indeed you are. You are plenty behind your time. Now, what's your explanation for that?
Well, it's Christmas, sir. It shan't happen again. My family and I are making rather merry, sir.
Well, it had better not happen again, I tell you. And I'll tell you what, my friend. I'm not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, I'm about to raise your salary.
Are you quite all right, Mr. Scrooge?
A Merry Christmas, Bob. A Merrier Christmas than I've given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary, and I'll endeavor to assist your struggling family. We'll discuss your affairs this very afternoon. Make up the fires, and buy some more coal before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Oh, yes, Mr. Scrooge. Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he became as a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city had ever known. Scrooge had no further experience with spirits, but lived upon the total abstinence principle ever afterwards. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that truly be said of all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone.
Dear Tiny Tim.
my gratitude I give for paying heed to my story. May your hearts and minds be filled this season with wonderful Christmas glory.